Most people sleepwalk through life, chained by fear, trapped by expectation, and controlled by a system that was never designed for them to win. They follow the script handed to them, seeking approval, avoiding risk, and playing it safe. But deep down, they know something is missing. This program is for those who refuse to settle. Each lesson in this series is designed to break you free from mediocrity and transform you into a force that cannot be ignored. These are not feel-good platitudes. These are weapons, mindset shifts that, if applied, will make you untouchable. You will learn how to reject the illusion of normalcy. You will learn how to silence doubt, both within yourself and from others. You will learn how to master discipline, resilience, and the art of self-reinvention. Most will read this and remain unchanged. But the few who take action, they will never see the world the same way again. This is your moment of choice. Stay comfortable or step into the fire and forge yourself into something unstoppable. Lesson 1. Rejecting the illusion of normalcy. Normal is the graveyard where ambition goes to die. The ones who rise, the ones who dominate, are those who dare to step beyond the boundaries of the ordinary. The world will try to tame you, shape you, and force you into its mold. But the price of being normal is a life unlived. Burn the mold. Forge your own path. Be the outlier. How to integrate this lesson into your life. First question. Everything society calls normal. From the moment we are born, we are handed a script, written by people who came before us, dictated by culture, tradition, and fear of the unknown. They tell us to go to school, get a safe job, follow the rules, and never challenge the system. But who wrote these rules? And who actually benefits from them? The masses follow blindly, believing that normalcy is security. But in reality, it's just a beautifully crafted illusion, one designed to keep people in line, obedient, and predictable. If you want more out of life, you must start by questioning everything that has been sold to you as normal. Who told you that you need a degree to be successful? Who decided that working 40+ hours a week until retirement is the only path? Who said that following the crowd will lead to happiness? Most of what we call normal is simply what's common, not what's right, not what's best, not what leads to power or success. If you accept the common path, you accept common results. 2. Reframe being different as an advantage. We are conditioned to believe that being different is bad, that standing out makes us vulnerable, that we must fit in to be accepted, respected, and loved. This is the greatest lie ever told. Look at history. The outcasts, the misfits, the ones who refuse to conform, they are the ones who shaped the world. Einstein was called crazy. Tesla was mocked. Jobs was fired from his own company. Musk was told his ideas were impossible. But while the world ridiculed them, they kept moving forward. They understood that being different wasn't a weakness. It was their greatest weapon. The moment you stop fearing rejection, you start commanding respect. When people say, "You're weird," take it as a compliment. When they laugh at your ambition, know that you're onto something big. When they tell you to be realistic, understand that they're projecting their own fears onto you. Your uniqueness is your power. Stop diluting it. Stop apologizing for it. Own it and weaponize it. 3. Disrupt your routine and expand your mind. If you follow the same routine every day, consume the same media, talk to the same people, and live in the same mindset, you will never grow. You will remain stuck in the invisible prison that is normal life. Break out. Expose yourself to radical new ideas. Read books that challenge your beliefs. Listen to voices that make you uncomfortable. Engage with perspectives that shake your worldview. Surround yourself with disruptors. If everyone around you thinks the same, acts the same, and has the same small goals, you need a new circle. Take calculated risks. Comfort is the silent killer of greatness. If you never push your limits, you'll never know what you're truly capable of. The world isn't changed by people who follow the script. It's changed by those who rip it up and write their own. 4. Develop a mindset of ruthless individuality. Most people live their entire lives enslaved by the opinions of others. They make decisions based on what will earn them approval, rather than what will bring them fulfillment. This is weakness disguised as politeness. If you want to break free from normalcy, you must develop an unshakable core, a foundation so strong that no criticism, doubt, or rejection can shake you. Stop seeking validation. The only approval you need is your own. Be unapologetic about your beliefs. You don't need permission to think differently. Accept that some people will dislike you. It's not your job to make everyone comfortable. The moment you stop bending to the expectations of others is the moment you become truly free. 5. Take action. Live as an outlier. All of this is worthless if you don't take action. Knowledge without execution is just another form of procrastination. So what does living as an outlier look like? It means making bold decisions that scare you, but excite you. Stepping away from toxic environments that keep you small. Creating your own definition of success, happiness, and fulfillment. It means realizing that the only person who can truly change your life is you. You were never meant to blend in. You were built to stand out. Kill the illusion of normalcy and watch as the world bends to your will. Lesson 2. Be careful how you define yourself. Your identity is either a weapon or a cage. The way you define yourself will determine whether you conquer or collapse. Most people live under the weight of labels they never chose, prisoners of opinions, experiences, and past failures. But here's the truth. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are whatever you decide to become. The world will try to define you. Rip that power out of its hands. How to integrate this lesson into your life. 1. Recognize that identity is a choice. Most people think their identity is set in stone. They say things like, "I've always been this way. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm not smart enough, strong enough, disciplined enough." But who told you that? And more importantly, why did you believe it? Everything you believe about yourself was given to you by someone else. Your parents, teachers, friends, and society. Some of it was helpful, but most of it was limiting. If you were told you're bad with money, you might still act broke, even when you don't have to. If you were told you're not athletic, you might never push your physical limits. If you were told you're just an average person, you might never strive for greatness. But here's the truth. You are not obligated to remain the person you were yesterday. Identity is a choice. And if you let the world define you, it will define you small. 2. Identify the labels that are holding you back. The most dangerous labels aren't the ones people give you. They're the ones you give yourself. Ask yourself, what stories do I tell myself about who I am? Do these stories empower me, or do they limit me? Where did these beliefs come from? And do I still want to keep them? If the labels you carry don't serve your future, burn them. If you've always thought of yourself as shy, start acting bold. If you've always believed you're bad at business, start learning. If you've always said, "I could never do that," prove yourself wrong. Rewrite your identity in a way that serves your highest vision. 3. Destroy the prison of your past. A mistake you made 10 years ago is not a life sentence. A failure you had last year is not a prophecy of your future. But too many people define themselves by their worst moments, rather than their greatest potential. The addict who finally gets clean isn't an addict anymore. They're proof that transformation is possible. The failure who tries again isn't a failure. They're a warrior in the making. The introvert who speaks up isn't shy anymore. They're a leader in the shadows. You are not your past. You are what you repeatedly do in the present. And at any moment, you can decide to start showing up as the person you were meant to be. 4. Create a stronger identity that pulls you forward. Once you strip away the false labels, the next step is rebuilding yourself with intention. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? What qualities do I need to develop? How would that person think, act, and move through life? Then, start acting like that person today. If you want to be successful, start moving like someone who succeeds. If you want to be confident, start speaking and carrying yourself with certainty. If you want to be disciplined, stop waiting for motivation. Just execute. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's practiced. If you act like a powerful person long enough, you become one. 5. Stop letting others define you. The world will always try to put you in a box. It will label you based on your past, your job, your background, your mistakes. Ignore it. You are not your failures. You are not your circumstances. You are not what weak-minded people say about you. The second you stop living according to other people's definitions, you reclaim total control. People will resist your transformation. They will remind you of your past. They will laugh at your ambitions. Why? Because your growth forces them to confront their own stagnation. But remember, their words have no power unless you give it to them. 6. Take action. Redefine yourself. Every day. The world wants you to stay the same. Your past wants you to stay the same. Your old self will fight to keep you small. You have to fight back. How? By proving every single day that you are becoming something greater. Every time you show discipline, you reinforce the identity of a disciplined person. Every time you take risks, you reinforce the identity of someone who is fearless. Every time you push beyond what you thought possible, you redefine your limits. Change isn't about waiting. It's about doing. You want to be someone new? Start acting like it. Right now. Your identity is either a weapon or a cage. Most people let the world define them. But the powerful, the relentless ? They tear down every false label and build themselves into something unstoppable. Choose who you will become before the world decides for you. Lesson 3. The futility of pleasing everyone. The moment you try to please everyone, you have already lost. You become a puppet. Your strings pulled by the expectations, opinions, and demands of others. The truth is, no matter what you do, someone will disapprove, someone will criticize, someone will find a reason to hate. But here's the secret. Their judgment is not your prison, unless you let it be. Free yourself. Live for your own vision, not for their approval. How to integrate this lesson into your life. 1. Accept that you will never please everyone. No matter how hard you try, no matter how good you are, someone will always have a problem with you. You succeed. They say you got lucky. You fail. They say they knew it all along. You stay quiet. They call you weak. You speak up. They say you're arrogant. See the pattern? Their opinions don't come from logic. They come from their own insecurities, jealousy, and fears. And the sooner you realize this, the sooner you can free yourself from the mental chains of people-pleasing. Ask yourself, Are you willing to sacrifice your own happiness just to avoid disappointing others? Because that's the price you pay when you live for their approval. 2. Understand that pleasing everyone is a trap. When you live to be liked, you become a chameleon, changing yourself to fit the expectations of whoever is in front of you. But in doing so, you lose your own identity. You say yes when you want to say no. You bite your tongue when you want to speak your truth. You follow a path that isn't yours, just to avoid judgment. At first, this seems like the safe option, until you realize you're living a life that isn't even yours. People-pleasing is an endless game, one where the rules constantly change, and no matter how much you give, it's never enough. The only way to win? Stop playing. 3. Build an inner compass that cannot be shaken. If you stop chasing approval, what should you chase instead? Your own vision. You need a personal code, a set of values and principles that define who you are, independent of external opinions. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? What do I refuse to compromise on? If no one was watching, how would I live? When your decisions are guided by your own internal compass, the noise of the crowd becomes irrelevant. You no longer need their validation because you're already walking your own path. And ironically, the moment you stop trying to be liked by everyone, people start respecting you. 4. Embrace disapproval as a sign of strength. Weak people fear being disliked. Strong people welcome it because they understand that standing for something means standing against something. Think about the most powerful, influential, and respected figures in history. Were they universally loved? Absolutely not. Jesus had enemies. Martin Luther King Jr. had enemies. They weren't successful despite being hated. They were successful because they didn't care. If you never make enemies, it's because you never took a stand. If no one criticizes you, it's because you never did anything bold enough to be noticed. Let them talk. Their noise does not define you. 5. Set boundaries and stop apologizing for them. Most people struggle with people-pleasing because they don't set boundaries. They fear saying no because they think it makes them selfish, rude, or unkind. But the truth is, saying yes to everyone else is saying no to yourself. If you say yes to work you don't want, you say no to your own ambitions. If you say yes to relationships that drain you, you say no to your own peace. If you say yes to being someone you're not, you say no to becoming who you were meant to be. It is not your job to keep everyone happy. It is not your job to be everything to everyone. Your job is to protect your energy, your vision, and your future. And when people get upset, let them. The ones who truly respect you will understand. The ones who don't, they were never in your corner to begin with. 6. Take action. Detach from their approval and live on your terms. Enough thinking. Enough worrying. It's time to act. The next time you want to say no, say it. With no excuses, no guilt. The next time someone disapproves of your choices, let them. Their opinion has no control over you. The next time you feel the urge to explain yourself, stop. You owe no one an apology for being who you are. Your life belongs to you. The only way to truly live is to own it without permission. The moment you stop living for their approval, you step into your own power. They will talk. They will judge. They will try to mold you into what makes them comfortable. But you were not built for their comfort. You were built for something greater. Let them disapprove while you rise. Lesson 4. Extraordinary results come from repeating ordinary actions. The world worships results but ignores the process. They see the success but never the sweat. They praise the outcome but forget the countless hours of repetition, discipline, and sacrifice. The truth is, there is no magic, no overnight success, only the relentless execution of ordinary actions, repeated with brutal consistency. The ones who win are not the most gifted, not the most talented, but the ones who endure the mundane, day after day, until mastery is inevitable. How to integrate this lesson into your life. 1. Kill the myth of overnight success. Most people fail before they even start, because they are addicted to speed. They want fast results, quick wins, and instant transformation. But this is a lie. The artist who becomes an overnight sensation spent years perfecting their craft in the shadows. The millionaire who seems to appear from nowhere was grinding while others slept. The athlete who dominates the competition didn't wake up gifted. They outworked the talented. The world only sees the tip of the iceberg. They don't see the relentless, repetitive, boring work beneath the surface. You must fall in love with the process, not the result. 2. Mastery is built in the shadows. Success doesn't happen in a single dramatic moment. It happens in the small, unseen moments, the ones no one claps for. Waking up at 5 a.m. to train when no one's watching. Writing another page, even when inspiration is dead. Studying while others are partying. Investing while others are spending. This is where champions are made. The ones who embrace the grind, who find joy in repetition, who commit to the same simple actions every single day. They are the ones who win. So ask yourself, are you willing to do what's necessary, even when no one is watching, even when no one is cheering, even when it feels like nothing is happening? Because if the answer is no, you'll never make it. 3. Build ruthless consistency. No matter what. Ordinary people operate on motivation. Winners operate on discipline. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days, you won't want to move. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It only cares that you execute. Repetition is the foundation of mastery. But repetition requires discipline. And discipline is the ability to show up, even when you don't feel like it. If you only work when you feel inspired, you will be inconsistent. If you are inconsistent, you will be weak. If you are weak, you will lose. Want to know how to separate yourself from 99% of people? Be consistent when they aren't. 4. The boring work is what makes you unstoppable. The hard truth? Most people fail because they get bored. They start strong, excited, motivated, ready to change their life. But then reality hits. The gym sessions feel repetitive. The business takes longer than expected. The work isn't glamorous. And so they quit. They search for shortcuts, hacks, anything to avoid the real work. But there is no hack. Only repetition. Only patience. Only relentless execution. The best in the world are not the ones who crave excitement. They are the ones who master the mundane. If you can endure the boredom of repetition, if you can push through the grind when it feels meaningless, if you can stay locked in when others lose focus, nothing can stop you. 5. Small wins compound into massive success. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week, but underestimate what they can achieve in a year. 10 pages a day equals 3,650 pages a year. That's 10 plus books written. 30 minutes of learning a day equals a new skill mastered in a year. $10 invested daily equals a fortune decades later. Small actions, repeated daily, create unstoppable momentum. You don't need a revolution. You need daily execution. Master the small and the big will take care of itself. 6. Take action. Commit to the grind. It's time to stop waiting. Stop searching for motivation. Stop looking for an easy way. Pick one thing, one goal, one mission, and commit to doing the work every single day. If you want to build a business, work on it daily. No excuses. If you want to be in elite shape, train like it, no matter how you feel. If you want to master a skill, put in the reps until failure is impossible. Consistency is undefeated. The grind is the price. Pay it daily. Extraordinary results don't come from extraordinary actions. They come from ordinary actions, done with extraordinary consistency. Most will quit when it gets boring. Most will stop when no one is watching. But the ones who endure, the ones who fall in love with the process, will own the game. Stay relentless. Lesson 5. The louder the internal critic, the quieter the external critics. The greatest battle you will ever fight is the one inside your own mind. It whispers doubts, screams insecurities, and tries to convince you that you are not enough. And yet, the louder your inner critic grows, the more silent the world becomes. Why? Because the moment you conquer yourself, your fears, your self-doubt, your hesitation, nothing outside of you can shake you. The external critics only have power over those who have already lost the war within. Silence the voice in your head, and the world will have no choice but to listen. How to integrate this lesson into your life. 1. Understand that self-doubt is the enemy that lives within most people. Think their biggest obstacle is the judgment of others. It's not. The real enemy? The voice inside your own head. It tells you that you're not good enough. It reminds you of every past failure. It makes you hesitate, second guess, and shrink yourself. But here's the truth. That voice is a liar. It is nothing more than the programmed fears of the past, echoes of teachers, parents, failures, and society's expectations. And if you listen to it, you will stay weak. You will stay small. You will stay trapped. The strongest people in the world are not those without fear. They are those who hear the voice and refuse to obey it. 2. Why the external world mirrors your internal strength. Here's something they never teach you. People treat you the way you treat yourself. If you are uncertain, they will doubt you. If you act weak, they will attack you. If you constantly seek approval, they will withhold it. But the reverse is also true. If you are certain, they will believe in you. If you act like you cannot be broken, they will respect you. If you stop chasing validation, they will start giving it freely. The world does not dictate your worth. You do. The stronger you are within, the quieter the critics become. 3. Train your mind to dominate negative thoughts. The inner critic is like a muscle. The more you feed it, the stronger it gets. But if you starve it, if you challenge it, if you replace it with stronger thoughts, it will shrink into silence. How do you do this? By reprogramming your mind daily. When the voice says, "You can't," respond with, "Watch me." When it reminds you of failure, say, "That was practice for my next win." When it tells you you're not ready, take action anyway, because action destroys doubt. Your mind is a battleground. If you don't control it, it will control you. 4th stop. Seeking validation. It's a prison. The moment you start living for the approval of others, you become their slave. You let their opinions dictate your self-worth. You let their judgment decide your actions. And worst of all, you hand them the power to break you. But here's the reality. Most people's opinions are worthless. They project their own fears onto you. They criticize you because they are afraid to take action themselves. They laugh at your ambition because it reminds them of their own mediocrity. So why care? Their voices only have power if you let them. Once you stop seeking validation, once you stop chasing approval, you become untouchable. 5. Confidence is not given. It is earned. People think confidence is something you're born with. It's not. Confidence is built through action. Confidence comes from keeping your promises to yourself. If you say you'll wake up early, wake up. If you say you'll hit the gym, go. Every promise you keep strengthens your belief in yourself. Confidence comes from facing fear. The more you do what scares you, the less power fear has over you. Confidence comes from proving yourself right, not proving others wrong. Forget the doubters. Prove to yourself that you are who you say you are. 6. Take action. Kill the inner critic and watch the world fall silent. Stop waiting for fear to disappear. It won't. Take action anyway. Stop waiting for the critics to approve of you. They won't. Approve of yourself. Stop feeding the voice that tells you you're not enough. Because you are. The louder your inner strength, the quieter the world becomes. The greatest battle is not against the world. It is against yourself. The weak lose this war and spend their lives controlled by doubt, fear, and insecurity. But the strong silence the inner critic and rise above the noise. The world will only believe in you once you believe in yourself first. Lesson 6. Death is the ultimate perspective. Every breath you take is a step closer to the end. Time does not care about your excuses, your fears, or your hesitation. The clock is always ticking. Most people live as if they are immortal, postponing their dreams, delaying their risks, playing it safe, waiting for the right time. But the grave is filled with those who waited too long. The moment you accept that death is inevitable, you are free. Free to live, free to act, free to chase what truly matters. Death is not the enemy. A wasted life is. How to integrate this lesson into your life. 1. Accept that your time is running out. Most people live in denial. They distract themselves, numb themselves, pretend they have all the time in the world. But here's the truth. You do not have unlimited time to figure things out. You do not have forever to chase your dreams. You do not have the luxury of wasting years waiting for the perfect moment. You are dying, right now. Every second that passes is a second you will never get back. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. Because the moment you fully grasp that time is slipping through your fingers, you will stop wasting it. 2. Stop delaying the things that truly matter. Ask yourself, if I knew I had 1 year left to live, what would I do differently? Would you stay in that miserable job? Would you keep tolerating toxic people? Would you still waste time scrolling, procrastinating, and avoiding your purpose? The tragedy of life is that most people only start living once they are faced with death. Don't wait for a near-death experience to wake up. Start making the bold choices now. Say what you need to say. Do what you've been avoiding. Take the risks you've been scared to take. Because one day, you won't have a later. 3. Fear of death is an illusion. Use it as fuel. Most people fear death. But what they truly fear is dying without having truly lived. They fear never reaching their potential. They fear leaving nothing behind. They fear looking back and realizing they wasted their existence. But fear can be either a prison or a weapon. Use it. Let it light a fire under you. Let it drive you to move with urgency. Let it remind you that every wasted day is a step closer to regret. Turn your fear of death into a reason to live harder. 4. Define what truly matters, then ruthlessly pursue it. If death is certain, then most of what we stress over is meaningless. The opinions of others, irrelevant. Petty arguments, a waste of time. Fear of failure, insignificant in the grand scheme. Strip away the noise. What actually matters? Creating something that outlives you. impacting the lives of those you care about, pushing your mind, body, and soul to their fullest potential. Experiencing love, challenge, growth, and meaning. Everything else is just a distraction. Kill the distractions. Focus only on what adds value to your short, fleeting time on this earth. 5. Live in a way that death cannot touch. The only way to truly defeat death is to leave behind something that lasts longer than you. Your work. Build something so powerful that it continues long after you're gone. Your influence. Change lives so deeply that your impact ripples through generations. Your mindset. Pass down the lessons that made you unstoppable, so others can follow the path. If you live only for yourself, you will die with nothing. But if you create something bigger than you, death becomes meaningless. 6. Take action. Live as if you were already dead. Most people are terrified of dying. The strong have already accepted it. They walk through life fearless, not because they think they will live forever, but because they have made peace with their mortality. Take risks. What do you have to lose? Chase your purpose. There is no later, only now. Love with intensity. Make sure the people you care about know it, before it's too late. Live every day as if it were your last, not as an excuse for recklessness, but as a reason to give everything, hold nothing back, and walk this earth with no regrets. You will die. That is not a threat. It is a fact. The only question that remains is this: will you die having truly lived? Or will you reach the end, filled with regret, knowing you let fear, hesitation, and comfort steal the life that was meant to be yours? The clock is ticking. Stop waiting. Start living. Lesson 7. Life advice is like clothing. Try it on and discard if it doesn't fit. Most people blindly follow advice without questioning its source. They mold themselves to fit expectations that were never meant for them. But here's the truth. Not all wisdom is universal. What works for one person may be poison for another. You are not obligated to wear every philosophy handed to you. Take what strengthens you. Discard what weakens you. Build your own code, one that fits you like armor, not a straitjacket. How to integrate this lesson into your life. 1. Question every piece of advice you receive. We are constantly bombarded with advice. Society, family, teachers, self-help books, social media, gurus. But just because someone says something with confidence does not make it true for you. Some advice is outdated. Some advice is designed to keep you in line. Some advice is based on someone else's fears, failures, or limited experience. Before adopting any belief, ask yourself, does this advice align with my values and goals? Does it empower me, or does it restrict me? Does it come from someone whose life I want to emulate? If the answer is no, discard it without hesitation. 2. Recognize that different paths require different strategies. What works for one person may be completely wrong for another. Some people thrive in structure. Others thrive in chaos. Some succeed by following rules. Others win by breaking them. Some build empires through patience. Others conquer through aggression. There is no single correct way to live. Your path is your own. The key is not to blindly follow what worked for someone else. It's to find what works for you. 3. The danger of following the wrong advice. Bad advice doesn't just waste time, it destroys potential. Play it safe. Leads to mediocrity. Just be yourself. Stop self-improvement. Work hard and everything will fall into place. Ignore strategy and leverage. Most advice is designed to keep you comfortable, not powerful. Be ruthless in rejecting any philosophy that weakens you. 4. Build your own code, piece by piece. Instead of blindly following what others say, craft your own philosophy. Take lessons from warriors, thinkers, and builders throughout history. Test different approaches and keep what produces results. Adapt, evolve, and refine your mindset as you grow. Your beliefs should be a weapon, not a prison. 5. Be willing to change when necessary. What worked for you 5 years ago may no longer serve you today. Growth means shedding old beliefs and adopting stronger ones. If you realize a certain mindset is holding you back, drop it. If new information challenges what you once believed, consider it. If a past decision no longer aligns with who you're becoming, change course. Do not be loyal to ideas that no longer serve your highest vision. 6. Take action. Curate a life philosophy that makes you unstoppable. Be selective about what you believe. Just because it's common doesn't mean it's correct. Test everything. Results matter more than theories. Refuse to let outdated ideas control your future. If it doesn't empower you, it has no place in your mind. Build a mindset that is uniquely yours. One that fits like armor, not a straitjacket. Most people are prisoners of advice they never questioned. They wear beliefs that were never meant for them. But the strong take what fuels them and discard the rest. Build your own code, sharpen your own philosophy, and walk through life in a mindset that fits you like a weapon, not a leash. Lesson 8. It's never too late to change. The past is a ghost that only haunts those who refuse to move forward. People say, "It's too late for me," as if time has locked them in a cage. But the truth is, the only prison is the one you build in your own mind. Change is always possible. No matter your age, no matter your past, no matter how many times you've failed. The only question is, will you rise, or will you let regret be the final chapter of your story? How to integrate this lesson into your life. 1. Destroy the illusion that change has an expiration date. One of the biggest lies people believe is that change is only for the young. I'm too old to start over. I've wasted too much time. People like me can't change. These are just excuses. Excuses designed to justify staying the same. Colonel Sanders didn't start KFC until he was 65. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison before becoming president. Stan Lee created his first Marvel superhero at 39. Sylvester Stallone was broke and rejected over 1,500 times before Rocky changed his life at 30. Time is not the enemy. Inaction is. The clock is ticking, yes. But that's all the more reason to move now. 2. Your past does not define your future. Most people stay stuck because they are prisoners of their past. They carry their failures like chains. But here's the truth. Your mistakes are not a prophecy. Your past failures do not dictate your future success. The person you were yesterday has no control over the person you choose to be today. Your past is only a problem if you keep carrying it forward. Drop it. Walk forward, unburdened. 3. Small changes lead to massive transformation. Most people think change has to be dramatic. That's why they never start. But the reality? Small shifts create unstoppable momentum. Reading for 10 minutes a day turns into a library of knowledge. Walking for 15 minutes a day turns into a body built for endurance. Investing small amounts consistently turns into generational wealth. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to start. 4. Embrace discomfort. It's proof that you're growing. Change is uncomfortable. That's why most people avoid it. But here's the secret. The discomfort of growth is temporary. The pain of regret lasts forever. Would you rather suffer now for a future you are proud of, or suffer later when you realize you wasted your potential? Pain is unavoidable. Choose the pain that leads to power. 5. Forget the opinions of others. They do not matter. One of the biggest reasons people resist change? Fear of judgment. What will people think? What if they laugh at me? What if they don't take me seriously? Here's the truth. Most people don't care about your transformation. They're too busy worrying about their own lives. And the ones who do judge, they're the ones too afraid to change themselves. Let them talk. You're not changing for them. You're changing for you. 6. Take action. Rewrite your story. Enough thinking. Enough waiting. It's time to act. Set one goal today, even if it's small. Even if it's just a shift in mindset. Make one change today. No excuses. No delays. Commit to consistency. Because the only thing standing between you and your transformation is action. You are not stuck. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be, as long as you start moving now. There is no deadline for transformation. The weak wait for the right time and die full of regret. The strong, they decide right now that their past is irrelevant, that their future is theirs to create, and that every second wasted is an insult to their potential. The choice is yours. Stay the same or rise. Lesson 9. Building resilience against external judgment. The world will judge you no matter what you do. Stay quiet, and they'll call you weak. Speak up, and they'll call you arrogant. Take risks, and they'll call you reckless. Play it safe, and they'll call you boring. The truth is, you will never satisfy everyone, and you were never meant to. The only way to win this game is to stop playing. Let them talk while you rise. Let them doubt while you dominate. The opinions of others are nothing but noise. Silence it with action. How to integrate this lesson into your life. 1. Understand that judgment is unavoidable. Most people waste their lives trying to avoid criticism. They tiptoe around their dreams, soften their ambitions, and shrink themselves just to stay under the radar. But here's the truth. No matter what you do, someone will judge you. No matter how careful you are, someone will disapprove. No matter how much you explain yourself, someone will misunderstand you. If judgment is inevitable, then avoiding it is pointless. Instead of fearing it, expect it, accept it, use it. 2. Realize that other people's opinions are a reflection of themselves. When someone criticizes you, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. People who have given up on their dreams mock those who chase theirs. People who hate themselves project that hate onto others. People who are too afraid to take risks criticize those who do. The next time someone doubts you, don't take it personally. See it for what it is, a mirror reflecting their own fears, weaknesses, and limitations. 3. Stop seeking validation. It's a losing game. Many people spend their lives chasing approval, hoping that if they just do everything right, the world will finally accept them. But here's the harsh truth. Approval is temporary. People will celebrate you one day and tear you down the next. Validation is inconsistent. The same people who cheer for you will turn against you the moment you stop serving their expectations. No one's opinion will ever be enough. The more you chase validation, the more you become a slave to it. The only real freedom? Stop needing external approval. Approve of yourself. 4. Strengthen your own inner voice. If your self-worth is built on external opinions, you're fragile. One insult, one rejection, one failure, and you crumble. But if your confidence comes from within, nothing can shake you. How do you build this? Through self-discipline, self-respect, and self-reliance. Do what you say you're going to do. This builds unshakable self-trust. Push through discomfort. The more you endure, the stronger you become. Prove yourself to yourself, not to them. When you know who you are, no one can tell you otherwise. The more powerful your inner voice, the quieter the external noise becomes. 5. Use judgment as fuel. Most people fear criticism. The strong, they thrive on it. When they say you can't, use it as proof that you're aiming high enough. When they doubt you, let it be the fire that pushes you harder. When they try to bring you down, smile, because they only attack what they fear. The greatest revenge is success. Not arguing, not explaining, winning. 6. Take action. Detach from their opinions and execute. Enough worrying. Enough overthinking. It's time to move. Start before you feel ready. Perfection is an illusion. Keep going even when they mock you. Their words mean nothing. Do not stop until they are forced to respect you. And even then, keep going. Your life is yours. Their opinions are powerless, unless you give them weight. The world will judge you no matter what you do. So stop caring. Stop seeking approval. Stop explaining yourself. Build your empire in silence. Let them doubt. Let them talk. Because soon, they will be watching in awe as you rise beyond their reach. Their opinions are nothing. Your actions are everything. Lesson 10. Mastering your own path. Most people drift through life, following paths that were never meant for them. They take advice from the lost, follow rules set by the weak, and walk roads paved by those who gave up on their own dreams. But here's the truth. No one else can tell you how to live. No one else can define your purpose. The moment you stop seeking direction from the outside world and start forging your own way, that is the moment you take control. The weak follow. The strong create. Choose who you will be. How to integrate this lesson into your life. 1. Stop letting the world decide your destiny. From the moment you are born, the world tries to shape you. Go to school, get a safe job, retire at 65. Follow the rules. Don't question authority. Be realistic. Don't aim too high. But look around. The ones who follow this script, are they truly free? Are they truly fulfilled? The reality is, most people live according to someone else's plan. They don't think for themselves. They don't question the system. They just exist. If you don't define your own path, someone else will. And they will make sure it benefits them, not you. 2. Find what sets your soul on fire. Most people wander through life with no direction because they never take the time to ask themselves what they actually want. If money didn't matter, what would you do? If failure wasn't an option, what would you chase? If you had 1 year left to live, how would you spend it? This is your path. Not what your parents want. Not what society expects. Not what is safe or practical. The only life worth living is the one that ignites something deep within you. 3. Burn the bridges that keep you chained to mediocrity. The path to greatness requires sacrifice. You cannot take every road. You must choose. The road of comfort or the road of discipline. The road of approval or the road of self-respect. The road of certainty or the road of power. If you are truly serious about walking your own path, you must burn the bridges that lead back to mediocrity. Cut off the opinions of those who don't support your vision. Walk away from environments that keep you small. Eliminate distractions that pull you away from your purpose. Only then will you be truly free. 4. Forge an unbreakable mindset. When you carve your own path, expect resistance. People will doubt you. Society will pressure you to conform. Your own mind will try to sabotage you. This is where the weak turn back. But the strong embrace the struggle. They train their minds to be unshakable. They welcome obstacles as a test of their resilience. They move forward even when the path is uncertain. If you want to lead, you must first master yourself. 5. Never seek permission to be who you are. The world wants you to ask for permission. Ignore it. You don't need permission to chase your dreams. You don't need permission to build your empire. You don't need permission to live on your terms. Everything you want is already yours, if you have the courage to claim it. 6. Take action. Step into the role of the creator. Enough waiting. Enough thinking. It's time to move. Decide what you want, without compromise. Eliminate everything that does not serve your path. Take action every single day. No excuses, no hesitation. You are not here to follow. You are here to create. Most people live and die as followers, too afraid to carve their own path, too weak to defy the script they were given. But the strong break free. They choose their own destiny. They do not seek permission. They do not wait for approval. They move. They build. They conquer. The path is yours to make, if you have the courage to take it. If you've made it this far, you're not like the rest. You don't settle. You don't make excuses. You're here because you know there's more. More strength to build, more power to claim, more limits to break. To those who've been with us, pushing forward, sharpening their minds, and refusing to be controlled, you are the movement. Your presence, your resilience, your hunger for more. This is what GrimFace is all about. And to those who are new here, welcome. This is not just another motivational channel. This is a war against weakness, against mediocrity, against everything that tries to keep you small. If you're ready to step into your power, to rewrite your story, and to take full control of your destiny, subscribe and become part of the GrimFace movement. We're just getting started. Now go, build and conquer, win.